What is going on, guys? Thank you so much for coming out to the show tonight. This is supposed to be the Friday night subcast, but tonight it's Saturday, of course. Sometimes they fluctuate, but it's good to see you guys out here. We've got, we've got Ballista Cola in the chat. We got Ford, Zen Air, Balito G, Ponestream, El Mundo D, Hades, Sword. What's up, buddy? Noob love in the chat. Look at all the noob love in the chat. Oh, thank you so much. Big shout out to Sword and his Sword Bros. Sword Bros. You can pay me later. We got Aquila, El Mundo D, Hades. I think I don't know. He's worth saying twice if I said it twice. Stubborn Ninja, what's up? Saying, where's Cobra? I'm right here. Right here. We got Mary Lizzie, KJPC Gaming, Gupro, and Penguin Arms, Blood Raven, and Ant Mun. What is up, guys? How you doing? We're going to be doing our subcast for tonight. So we're going to be taking callers if you guys want to call in, talk about your excitement for the update for tonight. But as always, travelers, interlopers, traders, and you crazy farmers out there, we just got a subscriber, and for some reason, I cannot see it. Whoever that was, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you. Thank you very much. But as I was saying, to travelers, interlopers, traders, and you crazy farmers out there, you explorers, bounty hunters, and pirates, and strange glowing entities, you Viking Korvax and Team Gek, may the Atlas allow my voice and sea kites here to fall upon every strange ear, and that this space transmission reaches every galaxy and dimension. Tonight, we are broadcasting from the Euclid Galaxy, somewhere deep in space. This is a late night show on Cobra TV. Call in tonight, guys, and let's make contact. Sea Kite, how you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Excited for beyond the VR update, the online update, and I don't know what the third one is, but based on all the interviews, there's a lot of stuff getting packed into this one.
There sure is. There sure is. And there's a lot of speculation, too. I want to talk a little bit about one of the last videos that I did upload where we went over the interview Sean Murray gave, and he talked about how this is going to have recognizable online elements from very heavily online games. And I asked everybody, I said, well, what are some common elements between heavily online games? Let's talk about that. Let's open up the discussion and see what common elements those games have between each other. He didn't give us a specific game, but if you think about the common elements, maybe we can, kind of look at those and say, well, maybe that's what he's talking about, because we would recognize those from heavily online games. Somewhere on the internet, my video had to have been posted somewhere that probably had a title of read the comments. Cobra's got everyone overhyping the game, because people were listing online elements of heavily online games, right? So if you didn't watch the video and just decided to read the comments, it looked like everyone was saying that No Man's Sky was going to have all these things. And so I could see why people were getting mad, but the people were commenting like, you're ruining this. Why are you ruining this and overhyping this? You look at the comment section. Look what people are saying. I'm like, yeah, they're answering the question about what common elements are usually found in heavily online games. Stuart Ellis, thank you so much for the donation. I think Sword also donated, and there might have been somebody before that. Thank you so much, guys. Stuart Ellis, thank you so much. Sword, thank you, buddy. But yeah, that video kind of it had to have been posted somewhere saying, read the comments, look what Cobra's doing to these people.
Who's gonna hate, man?
Yeah, well, they can hate, but at least listen. Find out why people are commenting those things first. So we've got Sean Murray talking about Stadia. Very excited about Stadia. We have Sean Murray also posting an image of the Apple presentation or Apple video, and he's saying fractal on Twitter. And thank you so much, Earth Voyager, for the donation. And Stubborn Ninja, thank you so much, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, I heard that if you donate under $1, that Google is not taking any percentage out of it. I don't know if they're still doing that or not. So a lot of people are donating to some streamers like 99 cents and things like that, so that the creator doesn't have to share that with YouTube. I don't know if that's a rumor, but thank you so much, Stubborn Ninja. So, Stadia, Sean Murray is really excited about that. Now, one of the things I would like to open up the show with is, when I started this YouTube channel a long time ago, we covered the development of No Man's Sky, and it was fun. It was probably the most fun I've ever had following any game that was being made. With that came the ultimate release of No Man's Sky, and what was always on my mind, what am I going to be doing when this game gets released? Am I going to move on to focus on another high-profile, ambitious title, or am I just going to hang it up and quit? Well, I probably thought it was going to be semi-ending to the YouTube channel here, but we quickly found out that there was more story to tell when it came to No Man's Sky. We automatically knew there was going to be more updates, so those updates were going to have coverage on them and talk and excitement and the subcast surrounding those exciting times. And then I thought, after next, this is it. This is probably it. This feels like the period at the end of a sentence. Next did. And that got blown out of the water again when we started getting more updates. Got Abyss, got Visions, and now here we are celebrating yet another big, gigantic update that's going to fundamentally change the game and have yet what seems like another release of the game on PSVR. And probably some other things with Stadia. Now, if you take a look at Stadia, I don't care what you say. Stadia is, well, I do care what you say, but I want to have my opinion that I think Stadia is the future of gaming. Maybe it's not going to be Google Stadia, but it'll be things like Google Stadia.
I need a little bit of a rundown because I'm a bad co-host. What is Stadia?
It's a new gaming platform, sort of like Sony, PS4, Xbox, but there's...
Don't answer that. It's a streaming thing, right?
Yeah, kind of, yes. But you can run it... it's off of their servers, so you can run the greatest looking games with the highest level of graphics on the lowest gaming PC. You don't even need a gaming PC. Go get a ThinkPad. You could probably run it on one of those. An IBM ThinkPad. But anyways, I think it's the future of gaming. So we'll have to wait and see where that's going to take us. But I know Sean Murray's looking at Google Stadia. He's very excited about it. Even going as far as to quoting Sean Murray by saying, here's what he said about Google Stadia. I obviously watched the Stadia stuff, and it was really interesting. I know ... things ... that I can't talk about. Let's take Stadia as an example. What I think would be really interesting would be to hear about gaming experiences that couldn't have been before. It's cool to hear 10 teraflops, right? It's exciting. I think the vast majority of people don't know what that actually means. Having cooler particle effects is great. Having 4K or 8K is great. Having better anti-aliasing is cool. But I think all of us would be interested to know what experience I could have that I couldn't have before. I think where Stadia becomes interesting is where we all stop talking about latency, or whether it can run on a Chromecast, or whether I care about having to buy a console or subscription models or whatever it is where they show me an experience that I couldn't have elsewhere. Because personally, like a lot of gamers, I'm fine buying a console. I already have a console. I know I'm going to buy the next ones. Obviously, I remember being a kid and having to save up for those things, and I get that. It would be nice to have that hurdle removed. But what's exciting for all of us in games is that moment when you see next gen and you're like, F word. I didn't think he didn't. It's F. It's like fuh. I didn't think that could exist. I've always wanted that, so I think that'll be very interesting, and I think there will be that kind of thing coming. He's very interested in Google Stadia. When next gen does arrive, Stadia this year, they're looking for developers for their platform. They're a new platform that's coming out. They're looking for developers. There has to be a reason why Xiaomari's super excited about this, and I guarantee you that it's already been given to the studio, Hello Games, so that they could make games for Google Stadia if they wanted to. Like, it's sort of like, I guarantee you the next console is probably already in, like the PS5, for instance. They probably already got a PS5, or they have not the PS5 per se, but the technology to develop on it. Just like how they had Project Morpheus for ever since 2014.
Is that I could get this thing and I could grab a potato, all right, put some cords in it, plug this thing up, and there you go. I'm playing No Man's Sky on a potato.
I wouldn't go that far. but kind of, yeah. But he's got his eyes on this. So my point being is that the journey for talking about No Man's Sky is not over. I believe that we're going to see some kind of next-gen version of No Man's Sky when Stadia comes, when PS5 comes, when the next generation period comes. I think we're going to see a revamped No Man's Sky. I'm not talking about No Man's Sky 2. I'm talking about just No Man's Sky next generation. Would be a kind of cool title. Just the same game that we're playing, just remade for next generation, or optimized for next generation. Because as Ray Rod once told us not too long ago, he said that Hello Games is only using 2% of the engine that they built for No Man's Sky. And when I asked him why, he said, I don't know why Hello Games does this. I don't know why they do the things they do. So the journey for talking about No Man's Sky is far from over. It's far from over. It's going to continue. And not only that, but they did announce that they are already working on a brand new title. And it's not The Last Campfire. But they said that it's going to be big, ambitious, and silly. I don't know what the silly part means. But he said at GDC, if they're going to do this, let's do it and make it count. Let's do it to change the industry. Let's be ambitious. Okay, so this next game is going to also be worth talking. So the journey here that we have on YouTube, thank you so much, No Man's Sky Adventures. Thank you, buddy. Subscribe to No Man's Sky Adventures, guys. He's an awesome YouTube channel. We are Constellation, so remember, reach out to our fellow members and subscribe. Just connect those dots, guys. We're stars in the sky. Let's connect those dots. So the journey for covering what Hello Games is doing is far from over. We've already seen that they're the developers that are in this industry that seem to be setting the bar high. We've got VR people coming out who've got a chance to play VR. We've got journalists who used to throw this game under the bus. Not every one of them writing articles did, but just the companies that they write for. They are now saying things like there's no better fit for VR than No Man's Sky. They're blown away by what they've been able to play. We got a donation from we got a subscription from Uri Stewart. I can't say that. Thank you so much, buddy. So now we got people saying things like this that are going on record saying things like that. So it's very interesting. This is not something. The Hello Games topic here on Cobra TV is not something that's going to go away. It's going to be here for a very long time. KJPC, thank you so much, buddy, for subscribing. You are the best too, man. He says, you are the best, Cobra. You are too, buddy. It's not going to go away, not for a very long time. We've got a long road ahead of us to cover what Hello Games is going to do and to cover how much they're going to change the market. How much they're going to, how much higher they're going to keep setting the bar for other people. For other AAA developers that are spending hundreds of millions of dollars on a game. And, yeah, that's a different topic. right? So it's super interesting. Put your seatbelt on. It's going to be a long ride ahead of us. But I do have Seakite on the call, and he's going to be guest co-hosting the show with me.
Yep.
Seakite is wanting to do a project he's always been super interested in hubs. I think he was probably one of the first people on the internet to ever want to build a hub. And Seakite's been around for a very long time. And we used to have a website called explorenms.com. And that is right here, explorenms.com. It's a forum. It's old school internet, right? It's the way internet used to be a long time ago. So it's not a very popular format. It is a forum. So if you go to Forum Index, you got things like Cobra TV news and updates. Of course, don't pay attention to that. Just come to the channel here. Gameplay videos and trailers, community intel, YouTube Let's Plays. Share your stuff. So you can go in there and post your videos just like you do in the Discord. PlayStation 4 community, PC community, and there's like there's fan art, image gallery. If you click on some of this stuff, we got some interesting stuff in here. This AHI has a gallery in here, and he's just sharing some cool stuff here. But there's a lot of fan art. There's a lot of paintings. There is what else is in here, Seakite? Like a lot of lore too, right? A lot of fan-made lore.
A lot of some information. But here's the thing: this site has been in a decline. I'm bringing it back up. The factions that once ruled the site, and oh my god, the community on Explore NMS was amazing, and I'm basically going to rebuild that. I'm going to be fixing up the site, adding in new artwork, promoting the factions that played a huge part, just trying to bring, some in. And for you guys on the Subcast, it would mean a lot to me if you guys would, go on, check it out. If you have an existing account, give it a shot. Tonight I will be working tirelessly to get this thing ready for Beyond. The factions, when NMS Online comes out, we don't know exactly what can be done, but I can tell you already with what we have now, there are many games and different ideas that I already have to implement factions against each other in a war game kind of thing. Artwork, come on, if you've got an idea and if you've got like a faction that in your heart you really want to make, like, I'm all on board adding people in, trying to develop this website back to its former glory back in 2015 and 16. It's a huge passion project, and I'm 100% willing to put everything I got into it.
I wasn't laughing at you. I just saw something on the screen that I can't repeat, but I'll show everybody right there. Sorry, it was funny.
But yeah, Cult of the Atlas, Galactic Hub, all of them, I intend on, bringing us up to those levels and being a part of the grand community.
So if you guys would like to join our community that we have over here on Facebook, there's so many different communities. But if there is hub integration in Beyond, I'm not saying that that's what's going to be there, but I have a feeling it could be, that it could be there. And if it is, we are going to go full throttle with our community that we have, which is called, it's called the Cult of the Atlas. And take out the echo. So if you'd like to join us, I'm going to put that also in the chat. We're going to take callers here in just a second. Let's see if hopefully it'll work. Hopefully if I can copy and paste it. There we go. So there's the link to the Cult of the Atlas there. But we are going to jump into Discord, and if anybody wants to get on the call. What's that?
When did I get cut off?
I don't know. I didn't know you did.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Because there was a large pause, and I thought...
we've got... Seakite, if you're listening... Seakite. Sea Kite, yeah, you got cut off. Subber Ninja, Conga, how you doing, guys?
Doing great, man. I'm exhausted, but doing great.
You're exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm doing pretty good too. I just got done with church, so I'm doing good.
Awesome. Okay, so tonight, guys, we've got two Cobras in here already, Patreon supporters, Stubborn Ninja and Conga, and we're going to get a lot of people on the call. If you guys want to come on, talk about Beyond, talk about your speculation, talk about common elements between online games. That is going to be one of the topics here tonight, so we could try and figure out what Sean Murray said. He goes, people will recognize common elements in heavily online games. So I would like to know your experience. I almost choked on a cough drop. Yeah, I would like to know your experience with heavily online games, because I've never been a big online player. I got stuck on one particular game for like 6 years, and I'm not going to say what that game is because it would take 2 episodes to tell you why before I told you the title. So it's very confusing what the title is. Dave Langer in the chat says, Cobra TV, things for the MMO part of the update. It could include customization, loot events, like dialis and raids, user economy, guilds, factions, pets, mounts, plus tons of social interactions. Yeah, those things do sound nice, Dave Langer. The Rise of Cobra, says Ant Mun. Okay, so we're going to get, I'm going to add guys, Stubborn Ninja, I'm going to add a caller or two here because he stayed up super late.
Yeah, Cobra, do I have the ability to add callers too as a Patreon supporter or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, I was going to say, I'll drag people in here if you'd like.
The sword's in now.
I don't know if I could change that at the moment. I'm going to go ahead. Hey, Sword, how you doing, bud?
Hey, buddy.
What's going on, man?
Not much, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I want to get our friend Land of Shadows, NMSA, in here because he's
get him in here.
He's across the pond, so it's really late for him over there, and he stayed up. So I definitely want to get him on the call. What is going on, chum? How you doing? Oh, he left. He doesn't want to be here.
Got scared.
Don't leave, chum.
All right. Hello there, Cobra. You get pulled into another channel, don't you? Nice one. Thank you for pulling me in. I was in that waiting room maybe 15 minutes before you even came online, so that's awesome. Thank you very much.
Hey, it's good to have you on the show. Guys, we got Sword. You guys know who Sword is? If not, Sword, make yourself known in that chat room there so people can go check you out.
What's up, guys?
And we also have Land of Shadows, who everybody knows who Land of Shadows is, right? And you better, if not, Land of Shadows, let everybody know who you are in that chat.
Thank you very much, Cobra. Yeah, I run another channel called NMSA, No Man's Sky Adventures, as Captain Steve, also known as Land of Shadows. That's my PlayStation handle. Oh, and KJ, by the way, is a lady, and she's got an awesome channel. I think you called her a guy. You may have upset her, Cobra.
What did I do?
You called her a guy. You assumed her gender.
Who did I do that to?
KJPC Gaming is Karen at KJPC Gaming.
That's her, yeah.
My daughters yell at me all the time because I call everybody bro. So if I said bro, I'm sorry. I call everybody bro, and it's gotten me in trouble at work. I don't know. It's just it's a bad habit. So I'm sorry, KJPC. I'm really sorry.
You have to have co-sisses.
So what's going on, man? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about tonight?
Oh, really? Just a lot of the things that people are saying on my streams is just about the number 3. When's it going to drop? When's the date? When's it going to happen? I'm thinking it's going to happen before the Easter break. They tend to drop things before a break. I think that's so their whole office can sort of watch on social media the hive that is us, that goes off on hype trains in all different directions, and just laugh at us over a holiday.
I'm sorry, I was typing somebody. I'm really
asked
sorry.
A question, Cobra.
This is a one-man job. I'm trying everything I can do. I'm really trying.
Kirby said, "There's 4 other guys in the subcast room. I'll let them take over for a while. I'm going to get.
I'm just going to type.
Okay, so you're talking about what 3 could possibly be. You said that people are
Yes.
speculating in your chat.
Yes. And by experience, they seem to do a drop right before a break, like a long weekend. And I think it's because their little team can then go off on social media and watch the hype train that's us and carry it. And yeah, I'm thinking that hopefully we're going to get the update before the Easter break. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts is that
the
we're not going to get it until closer to actual launch. One of the interviews, Sean Murray was quoted saying that he kind of wished they had waited until closer to launch to even mention this or say anything about this. So I don't think we're going to know more until we're at least a month away or less.
Right. Okay.
I know that's not the popular opinion, but I really don't think we're going to know too much more as soon as we want to.
Yeah. Done. Okay.
If anybody else has opinions, I would like to definitely like to hear that.
Well, I know from like past history, and I kind of agree with them waiting so long to release any information about the updates, because we get on here and speculate like till the cows come home about what we're getting, and if they give us any information, it blows up, and the distance between that information and the update is can get them into a lot of troubles.
It can, yeah, but people are calling me out saying I'm overhyping the game when I asked, what the online elements could possibly be that, what are common ones, and we've never over-speculated since before Atlas. Like, we thought we were over-speculating with Atlas, so much so that we started the meme carpets and curtains with Atlas Rises, right? Right? So we started saying, oh my gosh, wouldn't it be cool if there was multiplayer and blah, blah, blah. Carpets and curtains. That's all we're getting. We're getting carpets and curtains for our bases, right? And, but it didn't stop us. We started speculating like crazy. And when Atlas Rises came out, we were blown away. We didn't speculate enough. And the same thing happened with Next. We were blown away. We didn't speculate enough. Now, we got a good run. It's a good record so far. So it could jump up and bite us in the rear, and oh gosh, we over-speculated this time. But I don't know. It's, Hevel Games themselves have talked this update up, on their blog. They said that this is their most ambitious chapter yet. So that's a lot to go off of. If they're saying that, then I'm pretty sure it's okay to be really super excited.
Exactly.
We got Seakite back. Seakite, you're back. Seakite's not back. Okay. All right. So, guys, I want you to call into the show tonight so you could talk about those common elements that you see in MMOs and heavily online games.
Like for me, Cobra, I play PlanetSide 2. Have you heard of that game?
Yep.
That's a huge MMO. That's like massive. And I mean, it's not the greatest graphics, but
I love that game.
I love that game. I'm addicted to that game. So I mean, that's one of the games I play a lot is PlanetSide 2.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that would be really fun. That's like it's like a 24-hour war that's always going, always on.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
1,000 people against 1,000 people.
That's right. Yeah. We got Obsidian Zero. Obsidian, what's going on, buddy? Obsidian. I can't read.
Actually, not much. I'm actually sitting at my mother-in-law's at the kitchen table. I probably shouldn't even be on here, but I'm here anyway.
You sound very scared.
I am scared.
What's on your mind, buddy? Do you have any insight on what you've gamed for quite a while? I got stuck on one game for 6 years. Again, I'm not going to tell you what that game is, but I did miss out on a lot of games because I didn't play anything other than that one game for 6 years. And it was a multiplayer game, and it was highly competitive, but it wasn't supposed to be highly competitive. But we built a community around it and made it highly competitive. But not a good example for using it as something that's heavily online. So in your experiences with playing games that are considered heavily online, which ones have you seen and what played, and which ones have common elements that seem like they go hand in hand with each other?
Well, I played a lot of Final Fantasy Online. I played a lot of Call of Duty. I've played everything. I've played Neverwinter Nights. I've played everything, and I'm telling you right now, like, there is a myriad of things that you could speculate it's going to be, and there's far too much to go over to make any kind of assumptions of what the hell they're going to do with this next one. All I can say is it's going to be friggin' fantastic.
Oh, what's that? Is that are you playing with a straw?
No. Oh, that's my zipper on my coat.
Oh, it's a good thing it's your coat.
He really likes the channel.
Oh, where was that going?
Yes, indeed. That sounds exactly like me.
Oh my gosh, we got Natalie in the chat. Big shout out to Natalie. Thank you so
What?
much for being here.
Natalie.
Natalie.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, well, yeah, you're right. There's so many different games out there, but sometimes there's games that have, big lobbies is one. Big lobbies is something that's a common element between heavily online games, and creating guilds or factions is another one. Building communities like that you see in H1Z1, not the battle royale version of it, but back then H1Z1 was a community game where you got together and you could build communities, actually build houses, or not houses, but structures and things like that. Haven't played it in a long time. I don't know how the game has changed. I've seen that it was available on PS4 as a battle royale. I don't remember it as a battle royale. That's not how it was when it released, so I don't know what's going on with it now. But that's another one, building communities. And it said that, in the blog, it did say that we were going to be able to play together like never before, and it said something about it being social, a new social and radical way to play together. So that tells me that I'm leaning more towards the hopes that we're going to have actual real hub integration to where we could build hubs, build colonies that are going to be meaningful for having a hub.
Well, I do remember that when I was playing MMOs back in the day, there was always places where you could go where you would meet tons of people, where you would create parties. There was a party system where you would wait and you get picked up by some group of people, and you go off and do stuff. Maybe that's what they're planning as well. Like, that's what I mean. If I was in the position where I could actually construct something like this, that's normally the way I would construct it. But I mean, given the way No Man's Sky is structured, I can see them doing like way more than just a lobby system. There's probably I can only imagine the amount of stuff they could do with it, and it's gonna be massive.
Right.
Like, I would do tighter integration with like the PSN, where you could integrate your online communities with your bases and stuff, where you could teleport to your bases and stuff, and all your friends' bases, and whatever hub that you guys set up, you could integrate integrate them together. Like, that's what I guess it's what I would suggest they would do. But I mean,
I hope so. That's what I'm really hoping for. Big shout out to Yaucha in the chat. Yaucha, thank you so much, buddy. Big shout out to you. We got Ivy Mike also there in the chat, and but yeah, that's what I'm really hoping for. Your name used to be Frag Ninja.
it is. That's my name.
I almost called you Frag Ninja, and I stopped myself from thinking I'm calling you the wrong name, but I recognized the voice, and I'm not looking at the screen. So that's my memory for you.
The best pilot in Euclid, man.
The best pilot in Euclid.
Is Snow laughing at you? I'd like to see a dogfight between you and Sword.
Well, he'd probably win. I'm a terrible dogfighter, and he's a good pilot.
He was streaming the other morning, and I was watching. I seen the title "Best Pilot in Euclid." I said, I gotta check this out and see what he's up to. And like 5 minutes into the stream, I had the phone in my pocket just listening, and all of a sudden I hear bing, 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 bing. He flies into a building, and I'm like, this guy really put his title "Best Pilot in Euclid," did he? So I've been coming on razzing him a little bit during the stream. So.
Big shout out to Hidden Jew in the chat. Hidden Jew, thank you so much for coming by, buddy. Hope you're feeling better, man. I'm always a Discord call away if you want to call off air. I'm always here for you, buddy. So just keep that in mind.
I'm back.
See, Kite, good to be back.
Yeah.
Good to have you back, man. Good to have you back.
So what happened? Because at first I didn't really hear any voices coming from the other end, and then I was like,
That's usually when people know they're getting better. When they tell their doctor, I'm not hearing any voices from the other end. That's
Yeah,
usually a good sign, Sea Kite.
that is a good sign. My phone was at 1%, which is a bad sign, but I'm back. I somehow managed to do it as quickly as possible on someone else's phone.
I tell you what, we talk a lot about Snow Obsidian being the best PvP fighter in here, but I put hands down saying that Sword, and KJPC in the chat also said the same thing. Sword is probably the best pilot, literally, in the entire realm of No Man's Sky. KJPC in the chat says Sword is the best pilot in Euclid. 104 Sentinel drone ships, last highest count in one battle.
Well, on the bright side, hey, we're recruiting. We need fighters to, fight the good fight.
Yeah, KJ says that, but she did neglect to mention that I did have like 4,000 sodium nitrate in my ship when I started that battle, and I had to leave at 104 because I ran out. So,
Is it true that it crashes at that high?
So hold on. Any tips and tricks for like new people trying to be Han Solo out there?
Practice by shooting at a space station.
Space stations, baby, space stations.
That's right.
Team
Oh.
Positron. Just remember that, guys.
Sounds a bit evil. They have to be Gex, I suppose.
Ooh, Ivy Mike says, want a dogfight, Sword?
Oh, anytime, buddy.
Oh, let me know.
Normal
Let me
or
know. I want
perma?
to
Normal or
see that.
perma?
I want to see that happen.
Hey, you know what? I can fly and actually try and record it.
Hey, you want to know something funny, Cobra? We actually share a common enemy. All right, and that is the Gek, and that's before you started saying that. I was like, all right, these Gek are messed up, and I don't know how you feel about the Sentinels, but I'm not too keen on them either, man.
Sentinels, oh, there's nothing to worry about, man. They don't even fight. They just lie down and take it. They lie down and take it.
Pugnium
Oh
donations.
yeah. I'm not saying that they're hard. I'm just saying they're annoying.
Oh man, Bolito G's razzed me a little bit. Hashtag Sword needs a ladder. I made a joke the other day. I can kill 104 Sentinels, never break a sweat, but you give me a base ladder and it screws me.
Ivy Mike in the chat says, stock ship and guns perma.
What? Come on, Ivy. Come on.
Ooh, but that's skill versus skill. That's not upgrade versus upgrade.
I'll take a stock ship. We'll start a new permadeath save and do a little cage match via ship.
Murray in the chat. Murray. Oh, I'm just horrible
Mary
with names.
Lizzie.
Yeah, says a good pilot knows when to stop antagonizing the Sentinels. Ooh, Natalie says finally PvP loot. I wish that was a thing.
Nice.
I wish that was a thing because there should be.
Now, has anybody mentioned or even speculated or brought up that that the online or the massive multiplayer feature may be cross-platform?
Oh yeah, yes we have, and I'm really hoping that that's true because it does say like it brings players together like never before.
Exactly.
So that could mean crossplay. Go ahead. No, it's your show.
Something that really worries me a little is the actual artwork for the new Beyond update. It actually shows 4 players in the visor's reflection. I wonder if we're still going to have the 4-player cap on multi-teams.
I don't think that it's going to be a cap. I think it's just going to be the 4-people squad. I think that's going to remain the same, but we'll be able to see everyone.
No, I'm with you, what can I call you?
Captain Steve.
Captain Steve, that's right. Okay, sorry. I'm with you on that. One of the things that was on the survey that we took were larger multiplayer lobbies. So yeah, they've definitely increased the lobbies. That's the easy one. But what are they going to give us to do with larger multiplayer lobbies? That's the thing that is keeping me awake at night. What kind of functions, what kind of events, what kind of things can we do? Are there going to be raids in the game? Are there going to be...
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it really would be.
the way that I thought of it was going to be like, you know how in your multiplayer games, MMO, because that's basically what it is. The reason they're avoiding MMO is because of the subscription-based stuff that goes with it. But you've got your parties that you can do, and then you've got like, and I'm not saying that you're gonna have raid-sized whatever. I'm not saying that, but I imagine there's going to be an in-game friend list option or something. You can contact people or something like that. I think it's going to be those kind of features that allow, even if I am squatted up with 4 people, I can call someone from one of my friends lists and also, get them to join up. The squad thing, I mean, it's possible that'll be opened up as well. If not, it's not a problem as long as you guys, I mean, like, if there's like, I don't know the numbers, but like, let's say theoretically 20 people are on a planet, and some of those people might be squatted up for like easy trade options or something like that. Or that's just speculation. I know that there's going to be bigger lobbies, but the 4 squad thing might just be a normal group thing for normal games. I mean, I could be wrong, and it could be even better than I imagine. But definitely getting with a larger group of people is going to be possible. I just don't know if the squad part's going to stay.
True, very true. So I wanted to kind of go back and read this. You guys talked about cross-play again. No Man's Sky Online includes a radical new social. Okay, these are keywords to look at. A radical new social and multiplayer experience. That's something right there. A radical new social and multiplayer experience, which empowers players everywhere in the universe to meet and play together. There are hints there on crossplay, but maybe there isn't. Maybe we're reading too much into it. But the new social and multiplayer has me like really intrigued.
Me too, man. I hope it's something leaning towards hub integration.
Yes, that's what I think it is. And if you take a look at that in conjunction with the Galactic Atlas at nomansky.com, it's already set up like a social website to where you can see where the hubs are, so that you can know where to go to get to the Free Delta Initiative or get to, I can't pronounce that, sorry, or to get to Discovery Coalition. I mean, this is no. This, you can't put lasers in people's eyes, hon. That's gonna hurt me.
Oh no! Funny you should mention the FDI. We just traveled there today. Just setting up a base on PC normal.
Wow!
We'll have some circuit boards set up out there for some of the new members moving in there.
I can't wait. This is gonna be. Hopefully, this is going to be amazing. Veering off the hype.
Oh, we got Yoja in the chat. Yoja, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, not much. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm so glad you called in because I really wanted to thank you personally, voice to voice, for the donation that you did. That meant so much to me.
Oh, it was truly my pleasure. You totally deserve it, and I'm just glad I was able to do it. So.
It's a showstopper. I didn't know what to do. That was a showstopper. I was completely lost in words.
Sorry about that.
No, it's all right. No, don't be sorry. And so what's on your mind tonight?
Well, I'm getting excited about the update. My friends and I love No Man's Sky, and the only reason why we don't continuously play it is because the multiplayer aspects feel a little unpolished, and we're hoping that with this update in the summer, some more polish for multiplayer will come. Crossplay is huge. My best friend is on Xbox and I'm on PC, and a couple friends I have that play on PC with me, when we're building bases together, and then let's say I log off and they continue building for an hour later and then they log off. If I log on the next day, I don't see what all they built until they're on again. So
yeah,
for us, it kind of broke that in-game immersion that we like to see. So if those are fixed in this update, I think we'll be back in and more regularly.
I agree. I really feel like they're going to go, like, I keep saying this, keep beating it like a dead horse, but hub integration, like where, and that doesn't mean like, so maybe you don't want to build a hub or you don't want to join a hub. But like you and your friends, Yaucha, you could have like your own little hub together. You don't have to be like this established hub. You don't have to join somebody else's and go by whatever they're doing over there. So it would be something that everybody, I think, can enjoy. Probably even if you did it by yourself, as just like a single player. I mean, the building aspects that would have to be there for hub mechanics would also work if you were alone too.
Yeah, definitely. That would be great. And I mean, just that and a couple other things. Like after playing with each other for about a month, multiplayer, or playing co-op, we both felt as though we were playing what felt to be something you would find in like a beta. Like when one of us is in the other one's freighter, and we both, like if he's in my freighter and I tried to warp us somewhere, he'd be stuck out in space. Just little things like that. Kind of, we're hoping that will be fixed.
Oh, I agree. There's a lot to be fixed with the online right now, because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't like the online how it is right now. I do like the fact that we could finally get to each other and play together and have fun and create memories. I mean, I got tons of memories with Semtex where we're hiding, training down into the deep parts of a planet and then filling the terrain back up and then turning our beacons on and off, tricking people as they're joining the game. They're like, well, where the heck is Cobra? And then they finally dig down, and then we just shoot them, kill them, and it was all fun. But yeah, those created some good memories. So getting together, but online definitely needs a lot of work to it, and that's an understatement. I mean, it needs a lot of work. So I can't wait to see what they have planned for us. And when he says recognizable features of heavily online games,
yeah,
it's just really, that's a very dangerous sentence, because gosh, there's a lot of games that we could look at that we could take out of context and get really overhyped on.
I also need to mention something about the multiplayer and the VR combination. Being someone who has VR and loves it, when you are playing a game in VR and it's a multiplayer and you see a person right next to you, when you're playing by yourself without a headset, that is a guy on a mic controlling a character. But when you are in VR, that person to you that you're talking to feels real. It's kind of a weird feeling, but it's super immersive.
Right, I agree. In addition to our call here, we got Viking Captain joining us. What's going on, Viking Captain?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Not much, man. Not much. Just I want to kind of open up the conversation about the comment that Sean Murray said, recognizable features of heavily online games. Because on the website that they posted, they said we'd recognize online elements. And I just automatically assumed that we would recognize the online elements of No Man's Sky how it is today, what we already have. But apparently that he expanded on that in an interview, stating that no, we were going to recognize these elements of multiplayer in heavily online games, not just regular online games. So he's trying to do whatever he can to not use the word MMO, but everything else he's saying, it's like he's stepping around that word. So go ahead.
I don't mean to interrupt you. That's kind of crazy, because if I'm able to play with my friends, if my friends are able to see me, if I'm able to log in and accept my friend into my session, that's like multiplayer to me. Plus, right, if you're adding multiplayer elements, it's basically turning slowly into a MMO.
Right, and the way I envision No Man's Sky to be is I wish it was an MMO-ish type game that can also be played by single player without using that option, right? Without saying I want to go online or I want to go offline. I wish that No Man's Sky could be that, where it was difficult to travel to people, no random jump-ins, right? to where somebody who wants to play single player in this heavily online universe can do so just because it's so big.
Sure.
That's the kind of online experience I wish No Man's Sky. That's why I wish they would get rid of random jump in and jump outs to where it's not even an option that you have to turn on and off.
Yeah. And you know what, Cobra?
What's that?
Hello Games is doing so good right now. As long as they don't invite Take-Two to their platform, I am happy.
Take-Two?
Yeah, they monetize games big time.
Oh, gotcha.
Dave Linger in the chat saying they just need to make it like Elite Dangerous. That's a good way. Yeah. Mike Snowcell says, yes, Cobra, I want that experience. I do too. I think it'd be really good. Really good. Let's get some more Cobras on here, and then we'll just all share ideas back and forth. We've got Itch Dragon. I think it says Lich Dragon. Lich Dragon.
Hi.
Hi, what's going on? How are you?
It's been like years since I've talked to you.
Wow, from the old Skype days?
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. What's on your mind, man?
Nothing, man. I just can't wait for this update. I have a headset for the VR, and I'm really super excited to see it. Everybody has said how much this is going to be like the best VR game.
Yeah, no. Some of the biggest No Man's Sky critics have said that, which is very, very telling.
Yes.
How long have you had VR?
I've had VR for over a year now.
And so that earlier assessment, is that true? Like that concept that I gave out?
As far as what, I might have missed that part.
I mentioned that when you're playing online with somebody and you're in VR, that person seems to be more real, like they actually have your back in a sense. You know what I mean?
No, I feel like the fluidity of you being there with the person is definitely more connection than just playing on their online via control.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that they pointed out even if you have the VR and your friend online does not have the VR, you still get to play with them regardless.
Well, yeah, true, and we'll be able to recognize who's got it and who doesn't. You know, if you're not using VR and you see somebody's head moving in a weird direction, because it's got to move, right? I mean, it's not just going to sit there standing still. So I don't know. I think you'll be able to visually tell when someone's got VR.
Well, either that or the receiving end will only see like they do now.
Right. And also, I don't think enough people have been talking about how this is a weird topic to even talk about, but how Xbox doesn't have VR, and they are completely left out of this. I mean, they don't even have a choice.
Xbox.
What's that?
We don't talk about Xbox.
No, we gotta include everybody. You can't be like
Xbox is fam too, man. Xbox is definitely fam too.
Yeah.
I'm just razzing. No, I used to play Xbox all the time. I have nothing against the system, honestly.
Yeah, so, I mean, what's it like to be in the Xbox community and everyone's excited about VR and there's just no possible way that they can enjoy that?
The worst part is you can't even rig something to the Xbox to enjoy VR.
Right. Yeah, you know, somebody else in the chat just brought up something too. Like they brought up teleportation. It's a good thing that No Man's Sky has both. It's got teleportation and free locomotion. But what if you come across a player when we know that we can kill each other, and what if that player is playing in teleportation and they're pretty much able to do Gandalf wizardry and ninja all the way around you and just like disappear, reappear, and just like kill you? That's going to be kind of weird.
I've experienced that in a PvP format, and from what some people are probably really good at it, but I've also experienced people getting disoriented when they teleport. So it can be a blessing or it can be a curse.
Depends on how good you are with it.
Yeah.
What is this thing about teleportation?
Teleportation is like a comfort level for VR, so people that get motion sickness when the camera goes crazy, they can pretty much use a pointer to point where they want to walk, and instead of you moving your character like you do with your DualShock, they just disappear from the location you are and appear at the point where you pointed it at.
I think it's more disorienting to use that feature.
Really?
Yeah, I suggest when it comes to VR, try getting good with the motion, because I mean it is disorienting. You might fall down, you might throw up. You're not the only one, but so far with my experience, after playing VR straight for 4 to 5 hours, and I got my VR as soon as NMS announced that it was coming to VR. That same day, I watched Cobra stream, saw that, and I was like, oh, I'm going to get it this summer. And then that night, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't do this, but I am.
Ever since No Man's Sky dropped, I have been hoping and praying for No Man's Sky to come to VR, and now it's finally here, and I cannot wait.
Now, Cobra, let me ask you this, because I know you got the VR headset last month. How good is the PSVR in your opinion?
I don't have a whole lot of experience with PC VR, but I tell you this much: with the PSVR, what I have experienced, I feel dumb for not getting one sooner. Okay, it's absolutely amazing. I feel it's hard to actually put in words and to convince people that it's not just a screen on your face. You actually get put into the game. So when I say to people, we are going to be inside No Man's Sky, there's a reason why I'm saying that, right? Like, we are going to be in No Man's Sky.
And more things to add to that. When you're playing VR, you know that you're in the real world. You're not going to forget. There will be brief moments, though, that you're going to look behind a corner and you're going to be like, oh, crap, I'm here in this world. And then immediately you're going to be like, oh, wait a second, no, I'm not. But as if anyone is, on the fence still about VR, let me tell you one thing. I'm kind of old. I remember the iToy and like for PlayStation 2 and the Kinect and all the gimmicky stuff that's come out. PSVR is no longer really a gimmick. When I got my PSVR and I looked at the store, there was like over 200 and some odd games for the PSVR, and a lot of them are free. Not all of them, not most of them, but some of them are free, including one thing you should check out is a Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. There's like a flight simulator thing where you're like, it's like one mission and you're going around, you're in a cockpit. It looks amazing and it's free, so definitely check that out. But it's like one mission and you're shooting and you're getting that space feel. There's also an EVE game that you have to pay for that will give you that space feel. But this game right here, it's basically, this update's free. You get VR, you get the most amazing experience so far on PSVR, from what I've seen. Like, I look at other games and I see the other options.
But
hold on.
You got busted.
Well, the reason I asked you that is I'm kind of in a little predicament with the VR stuff, because I have the new PC rig that I would love to play VR on, but I also have a young child, or a teenage child that would definitely be interested in playing the VR on his PlayStation game. So I'm kind of curious, of your experience with it and your opinion of it, because I said, I'm kind of on the fence on if I want to do like something for the PC exclusively for PC or.
Did your rig say it was VR ready?
Oh, dude, I got I'm VR ready.
Okay, all right, yeah. Mine said it was VR ready as well. I don't know. PC is going to be better than the PSVR, but the PSVR, it's not a toy. Like, the reason why I say that, it's not a gimmick. It's not like the cereal prize brand, like the cereal prize inside the cereal that you get out. It's not versus a Hot Wheels. It's not that bad, right? So it's that was a bad example.
I got what you meant though.
Yeah. Okay. It's a Happy Meals toy car compared to a Hot Wheels. It's not that big of a difference. But there is a difference Obviously, PC is going to be better, but if you want to join, like, I could have gotten one for the PC instead of just the PS4. And I went with the PS4 for the reason you just brought up, because so that way everybody in the family can join in and use it, because I don't let anybody on my computer.
I know how you feel.
I think that's the main catch for the PS4 VR is that it's so family ready, unlike PC versions. Now you can up your PC to handle way more than the PSVR, but let's look at it this way. When No Man's Sky was written for the PS4 and the PS4 VR, it is written specifically for that system, and you're going to get what you pay for. Even though it had such a rocky start, every critic who has gotten their hands on the demo has said this is the single best VR game to hit the market yet.
Yep.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
About this. So I have a PC. I've never had VR. If I buy VR, like, how does that work? If I have something on my face and I'm looking through it, I won't be able to use the keyboard and mouse. Like, how does that work?
You'll have
It comes with controls.
Yeah, you'll have controllers for your hands, and you have to set it up so that way it'll see. It'll have to look at you and your headset and your controllers that you're holding.
Gotcha.
Hey,
Thanks.
have you ever seen this movie called Player Ready One?
What's that?
I have not.
Oh, okay. Well, it's pretty much VR in that movie. It shows you how it's done, but to a high standard.
Okay.
So most VRs,
Stuart Ellis there, guys.
Yeah.
most VRs have cameras and they motion track you, and your controller's in your hand to move around and do stuff inside the.
Okay. All right. Cool. Thanks.
Stuart Ellis in the chat is saying Star Wars X-Wing on PS4 is the best VR experience I've had. A dream come true. I nearly cried. Thank you so much, Stuart Ellis. I'm going to try that out. I saw a video of that. And here's another thing, guys. If you're looking at videos on YouTube to see if you want to really invest in VR, that's not a good place to look, because you're not seeing what the person wearing it is seeing. You're seeing the game that they're playing, but they're seeing into the game. So they're seeing past the bush that's in front of them. They're seeing things off in the distance. It's a much different experience having it on your face and seeing it in 3D. And I don't mean 3-dimensional. I mean, like, things are, I don't know how to explain this right, but things are in the foreground and things are, you know what I mean? Like, it's
Depth perception.
Depth perception. Thank you. You could see into the game, not just looking at the game. And videos on YouTube do not show what it's like when you're wearing it.
Is it like a motion ride at a theme park?
Yes. As a matter of fact, there are these 360 videos on YouTube that you can wear your headset with, and I go on those all the time. They got some roller coaster rides that
super trippy.
Oh my god, it makes me feel like that scary feeling in the butterflies in your stomach. It's so surreal. It's like, how am I getting this feeling? I know I'm sitting on a couch. Why do I feel like I'm falling? It's
False
awesome.
perception.
Nice.
But it seems like you almost have to take a leap of faith, because outside of talking to somebody and them trying to explain to you what it's like, you don't really get a real grasp for what VR is until you experience it, correct?
I tell you what, if you have any friends who have it, go try it. Believe it's an experience worth having.
Yes.
Off topic, speaking of Star Wars, Vader Immortal. Finally, a freaking lightsaber VR game.
I know.
Just wanted to put that up.
I know. I can't wait. I saw that and I nearly cried just by watching that trailer.
I downloaded Beat Saber not too long ago, and I'm having a blast with that game in VR. But it's no comparison to a real lightsaber.
Right.
Awesome.
Hey, Cobra.
Yeah, buddy.
Just like to throw a shout out to my boy Sword. He don't even know who I am.
What's up, brother?
Just
Hood gaming. I see it. What's up, brother?
I'm doing great, man.
We got man. We got Last Tabs joining us. Last Tabs, how you doing?
Doing pretty good.
That's awesome. What's on your mind tonight?
I've been thinking about the data mine files.
Which ones?
The ones about the food.
We got our answer to the food because we had Ray Rod the Mod God on the show. He said, well, we don't have all the answers on the food, right? But we got some. He said the food was data mined from the language files. So they were meant for them to be said in text dialogue.
Okay.
But we've never seen them say anything like that in the game. So still, there's still a mystery to it, but they were not files. He elaborated that they were just language files.
I hope to God it doesn't turn into like a Minecraft thing.
But the other things that were data mined for the base turrets, to put a turret on your base, like why would you need a turret on your base? Why would you need fencing and stuff like that? And those are real data mined files. Those are legit.
If you enemy with the Sentinels, why wouldn't you want a turret on your base?
Because I don't know, they're once you get fully upgraded, the Sentinels are nothing. Not even the Walkers. I mean, you could just take them out and just have fun.
Oh yeah!
I did a video that it's called a boss battle or something like that, and I made it look like I was like having trouble fighting it, but I was literally just letting it shoot me and shoot me and shoot me, and I wasn't dying, and I was taking my like time shooting him. Because I was using a blaze javelin, it's highly upgraded, and it was destroying it too quickly, and I didn't want it to be over too fast. So I wouldn't see a turret on our base really being needed for those guys.
Unless you PvP.
That, or we could be looking at
Pirates.
something for our hubs.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I started a new game the other day. I took on a walker stupidly. I found out something interesting, though. You can hide inside your base, drill a hole through a wall, and shoot at them from inside your base, and they can't get you.
Something that I thought was interesting is sometimes it shows your freighter as a base marker. And I was wondering whether those turrets might be for customization for your freighter to choose where to place turrets and have different turrets.
Freighter turrets.
Freighter turrets. And you can fire missiles or lasers or whatever. That'd be sweet.
That's a good thought, too.
Has anybody else freed a freighter from pirates?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I was just making sure that was a widely known thing.
That's how you get your first free freighter, chum.
I know. I just found that out the other day, ever since the update.
Have you noticed that if you're in a session with another player that has his freighter out already, it won't allow you to launch your freighter at all?
Yeah.
What?
Yep. That's true.
Oh, we got Josh.
Freighter PvP would be awesome.
Oh, it so would. Just like a battleship or something like that. That'd be so cool. We got Joshua Trusty in the chat saying, Cobra, is there a way to display who's speaking in the Discord? That way we know who is speaking if we don't recognize them by voice. Not really. I mean, I could probably share the screen and you might be able to see them light up. I'm not sure, but
there is a way if you're in game, there's an in-game overlay and it shows people that are talking, but I'm not sure how you get that to work on desktop.
I wonder, has anybody heard if there's ever going to be any bosses on planets? Like
my gosh, I want bosses so bad. I do.
Oh, man.
That'd be pretty cool. Like I was going back to your original thing, Cobra, where you were talking about some of the different things about the update. And another one about the multiplayer. What is it? I don't know. Anyway, one of the other things I was wondering or speculating is, would there be things sort of like WoW or Rift, where you have these events that pop up that friends can join up and try to defeat or conquer or overcome. That might be pretty cool.
Oh, that would be so good. Yes. Like I could imagine like these, like they, there was a long time ago before the game came out, they were alluding to like, they had this thing on spelunking and this and that. And one of the things was hunting down large aliens. It was never a confirmed feature, but it was just something that was just being thrown around by in interviews and stuff like that. And
Monster Hunter Intergalactic style.
Yeah. That would be so cool for us that, like, for maybe one like boss in in one star system, in each star system, that we could all get together and we could have to battle together. You know, just 4 or 5 or 6 of us go down in there and just try and beat this boss for, like, I don't know, a whole bunch of Quicksilver or something like that. Be cool. Be really cool.
And that's another thing when they say recognizable online elements is like going into a dungeon, defeating the boss with your friends. And another thing that goes back to the food, I was thinking, like, in a lot of online games like that, what do you do before you go into a dungeon? You want to make sure you're buffed up. You want to make sure you're strong enough to fight the boss. So you eat food with certain buffs, make yourself stronger.
What about random events?
Yeah,
like random world events. Except, so it's just
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
That would be. But you know what? Hello Games, they got to put bosses in. I want my Leroy Jenkins moment. I'm serious. I want that moment. They got to give that to me.
What about cities? Have we talked about cities?
Oh, the cities, the controversial topic. Oh boy! Why did you? That's the bad
sorry.
C word.
He said the C word.
Well, we already have trading posts. I'm just saying.
I know.
Across the civilization.
Look, both sides of the story have good arguments, but it doesn't work because the lore. Yes, the Sentinels may have destroyed the cities at one point in time, but they're not the same Sentinels nowadays. Nowadays, they're just little wimps that could be taken out easily, and they don't stop us from building. Right, so I'm pretty sure
from taking geos.
Oh my God, we got Michello in the chat. Oh, Michello, you guys remember Michello, right? He was the Sean Murray impersonator. Remember?
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's in the chat. Check him out. I was watching. It was so weird. I follow this group called Disclose TV, and there was this thing saying that your microphones are listening to you, or Google is listening to you, or something like that. And I'm like, ooh, what's this? So I clicked on it, and I'm reading the article, and at the bottom of the article, there's this video for proof that it was. And I click on it, and lo and behold, it's Michello. And it's got like millions of views on it. I'm like, what? I know this guy. I've spoke with him. And it was just really weird. So it's really cool to see him in the chat. How you doing, bud?
Cobra.
Yeah.
I just had a eureka.
What do you mean?
I think I know what the third one gonna be.
What is it?
It's gonna be combat.
Huh? Combat?
Yeah, like fists and kicks and stuff.
so it's gonna say No Man's Sky Online, No Man's Sky VR, No Man's Sky Fight Club.
Hey, Cobra, can I jump in?
Yeah, go ahead.
To me to deck and finish him.
So you were onto something just a minute there, and it got me to thinking about the whole idea behind cities. And you're like, it's not in the lore, and look at we can build mega structures right now. Well, what if the third is like you were talking about, like a completion of that roadmap, right? It's a little bit of combat update. It's a little bit of base complexity update. It's more complex AI. And what if, to fit into the lore, we might not be getting necessarily cities per se, but we were talking about like small locale or points of interest of various kinds. But what if during the base complexity, if that's going to be in the update, that's why you're seeing solar paneling, and you're seeing wind turbines, and you're seeing fence defenses, and you're seeing turrets and missile launchers and all these different implications of base building, right? Because as a community within the lore, we start building these hubs and we start building these civilizations, and that forces the Sentinels to become more enraged and threatening to us. And we're going to probably see maybe a more variety type of Sentinels to add more threat to where our bases start getting tacked on a regular basis.
And that's a good point, because Hello Games does put things in there that they utilize later in another update, and we got those new Sentinels. So that could have been just a stepping stone into creating more crazy Sentinels, more crazy looking Sentinels, harder to defeat ones, more aggravated ones. So you might be onto something. That would be really cool.
Has anybody played 7 Days to Die?
Yes.
I think maybe something along those lines where you have hordes of sentinels coming after you.
I like the idea of having your own sentinel, like Laylaps in the actual lore. That'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Build your own.
If you look at all the different base quests that we currently do now, how we have quests to unlock blueprints for our bases, and we have quests that upgrade our exocrafts, and then we have quests that will upgrade our use of the multi-tool and the different weaponizations that we can get for our utilities. That all kind of fits into the story of outfitting and equipping ourselves for a more larger threat in our settlement.
I like that.
Now, I will say this, though. The jump they made on the complexity and the base, I lost the wording of it. The jump from 1.3 to next with how they optimized the base building and added so many extra parts and options to the base building. If they can make that same scale of a jump from next into beyond, we'll be talking cities because it's going to be hubs building them.
Exactly. That's my point. That's where I think.
So we're
cities
talking
are
about joint bases with your friends.
Yep, that's what I would.
Well, and that's why when I was talking before in previous subcasts, I was thinking is it possible or would it be cool to have cities? I mean, if Hello Games puts it in there, I'm definitely not going to snub my nose at it, but I'm more interested in what I would call points of interest, locales. Ruined temples, scrap yards,
space stations,
abandoned space stations that you can actually traverse through, and there's alien life inside the space station. Ship a flat that's floating out in space where you can go salvage metal from decrepit ships that have fallen apart.
Yeah.
In Star Citizen, they have a thing like satellites broken down in space. You go onto them and repair them.
Right. And those are the kind of things that I would think are more interesting to me than just per se cities. Because I think the community is what's going to populate the world. Right.
I think that's what I love most about this game is how limitless it is right now.
Exactly. It's like a canvas that they keep painting on. Ford Perfect 4D2 says, thank you so much for the donation to the super chat. He says the lore is not finite. The lore we know is only the stories we've been told so far. So that's a very good comment. And also MTGGNG in the chat says we don't know what part 3 is, but we also really don't know anything about part 1 either. So that's a very good point.
Right.
You got your tinfoil hat on, Cobra? I got one for you.
That's to block things out. I'm wearing some sort of contraption that tries to get. It tries to let it in so I can brain hack Hello Games.
What if part 3? What if part 3 is going to be a big bad?
A big what?
A big bad. Like,
what do you mean?
Now we go to these abandoned buildings in the game where they have this slime residue all over the equipment where it's taken over, and then we go to these ones that have the eggs where the monstrosities or the horrors or whatnot come out.
Those bastards! I hate those things.
With the Abyss update, we got the abyssal horrors and stuff added to some of the buildings and whatnot. What if there's a creature when we go into this new online, or a new creature, or a new baddie that we got to go out that's actually went on and planted those eggs and created that slime?
Oh, that'd be so awesome. Harris Bornstein says, did Hello Games hire a writer for Beyond? I don't think they hired a new one. I think they're still using Greg Buchanan, because I reached out to Greg Buchanan, who was the writer for most of the lore in No Man's Sky, and I asked him for an interview, and he said, yeah, sure. So we were going to have an interview, but then he realized it was about No Man's Sky, and then he goes, oh, I have NDAs for that. So he's not allowed to talk about No Man's Sky, so I think he's still working on No Man's Sky.
Somebody called him and said, you're interviewing with Cobra? He can't keep his mouth shut? No!
Yeah, he can't keep a secret. What are you, an idiot?
PR nightmare.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing I'd like to see is more ship variation. Actually, more variation with pretty much everything.
Or customizable ships.
Yeah.
We talked about that when the game first came out.
Yep.
I think that's the way they should go, is customizable ships, because we do need more ship variation. That is the weakest point, I think, in the game at the moment. Every ship I see feels too familiar. There's not enough of them, right? And I think if we were able to customize our own ships, and I think that one of the reasons why they took all those cool designs away, because some of them look like they were ripped right out of Star Wars, right? So I think that maybe because of getting worried about getting sued, or claiming copyright on some of those things that they were putting into the game, that maybe they had to get rid of a lot of those models that procedural generation could make for them. So I think they limited it. Maybe they limited it because of that. But if they give us, the players, to create our own ships, I think we could create our own X-Wings and TIE fighters and things like that. And they wouldn't be able to get sued because they would be creations that we created.
Fan art.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if they gave us the ability to add to our inventory, like add cargo space, add technology space, like we can with our backpacks, that would be something. Because then you can take your existing ship that you love and add to it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do. I think that you should definitely have a way to mod your ship or customize your ship to get a look and feel that you want. But I think we would probably want choices on that, as far as, like, if you're a fighter, you don't want to turn your starfighter into a hauler. No. Then that would defeat the purpose of having a hauler, right? And I think what the Hello Games, it would be really cool if they did this, is almost every ship kind of is overpowered once you've maximized it out. And there's no real consequences for picking one ship over the other.
Like saying a hauler would be slower than a fighter, or vice versa.
So yeah, if it were me and I were Hello Games, I would say, okay, let's look at the haulers and let's put really heavy armor plating on the hauler so they can take a crap.
But they're stupid slow.
But they're slow and they don't have as much firepower.
Mm-hmm.
They've already kind of done that, though. Even when you max them up, they're still not as powerful as a fighter. I think it would be nicer if they just added ship-related missions, and as you do the ship-related missions, you gain XP for your ships.
Or you find better ships.
That'd be great.
No,
that'd be great. What a great idea.
Well, now, another thing, I mean, and I know a lot of people has been asking about ship customization and been wanting ship customization. But then, on top of that, too, I just got finished updating all my ships on my permadeath and my normal mode to a certain color ship. And there was a site I went on the Reddit page for the coordinate exchange. There's a large portion of this community currently that do a lot of ship hunting and post those locations up, and that's kind of what they do. Hey, Eugenia, could you turn the stream down? I'm getting a lot of echo. But there's a large portion of the community that is what their thing is. That's what they get into, and that's what keeps them playing No Man's Sky each and every day. And if we go to full, complete customization on ships, I think that would hurt the community a little bit.
Right, and I agree with that too. So if you did ship customization, like what I would think is, like, let's say you picked a C-class ship, right, like a fighter. Okay, then there'll be certain aspects that the parts that you could put on there are only within a range of what could outfit a C-class ship.
Or the base model. So a base model, so people could still ship hunt and add on to that base model, change that base model a little bit.
Right.
I think it'd be nice if you scan ships and it adds it to a blueprint infantry, and you can get the parts printed by your scientist at your base. So you still have to hunt for ships. You just scan them. It locks it into like a ship cache for blueprints, and then you get them 3D printed or something to put on your ship.
Yeah, now that would be cool, and that would keep ship hunting, that would definitely keep ship hunting going. And I think that if we did have ship customization, I think it'd be cool to have minor tweaks to like weaponry or maybe defenses and stuff like that. But I think most of the ship customization should just be fully aesthetic.
Ooh, Ballisticola has a good comment too. Ship part hunting. But I don't know. I see Sword's point, and I don't. It is kind of fun when people do. Sword, I see your point, and it is kind of fun ship hunting. But I think you could combine those two. I think.
Oh, I agree.
Hey, so Cobra, I apologize. I joined the show late. I really wanted to catch it, but I was building Family Faction. I had to watch a movie with the family.
Family Faction.
That Family Faction needed mentions.
But was anything discussed about the tweet that was of 65 days of static that was posted by Hello Games? Was that ever brought up?
No, but we could bring that up now. So
They're on Pandora, by the way.
What?
They're on Pandora, by the way. If anybody cares.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay,
so you're finding that screenshot. Something that I think is the weakest point of No Man's Sky at the moment is the procedural generation. And I'm probably going to get some flack for that, but I think, planets without water, why have they got clouds?
Maybe it's not water. Maybe it's just a gas.
Perhaps, but then they should look completely different than the sort of clouds we see. They should be like swirly masses or vortexes or something like that. I would like to see new skyboxes. I would like to see planets with larger the plants. If they've got larger plants, then the creatures should have longer legs or longer necks. It should make sense. You shouldn't see creatures with scales and reptilians on cold planets.
Yeah. If we can jump on that bandwagon, why is it that Sentinels attack me when I destroy a rock, but when I use my multi-tool and blow a hole in the terrain, nothing happens?
Life as we understand it in this solar system is under the laws of which it had to evolve. So life under another star system would have to, if it did flourish, would have to evolve under the conditions that are in that star system. So when we see us as having eyeballs and mouths and 2 arms and 2 legs and scales for creatures that live in hot environments, might mean something, might need it for a different reason on another star system. So we only understand life the way we see it, and it's hard to think of life how it would look or what it would look like if it was in a complete and utter ammonia atmosphere.
I would like to attack Mr. Sciencey guy. If we're going to be more realistic about No Man's Sky, your ship does not fly in space. Period.
Fly? What do you mean fly?
So the whole turning your ship around and all that stuff, you don't have reverse thrusters, you don't have this, that, and the other. I mean, if No Man's Sky is not meant to be realistic. We're talking about clouds on planets that don't even exist.
Okay. No, they actually said it'd be a procedural generated game, and I
Correct.
don't believe that the algorithms are 100% correct. Well, or not even close to being correct. I mean, the suns, for example, they're different colors, different sizes, different heat. It should have an effect on the solar system you're in. We should see gas giants. We shouldn't see ringed planets in every single system, and we shouldn't see planets.
I got the perfect solution for both of you guys. Zendesk. There you go.
Hammered that.
Okay.
Hammered that.
Yep. I'm just gonna go with what I was thinking before, and I'll just give you guys the Zendesk.
Well, and two, you got to realize this as well. And I've said this on stream multiple times. Show me a game that does this better, I'll play it. I don't see that, so that's why I log on to No Man's Sky every day. And honestly, it's not about the science or the physics or the realisticness of it. It's the escape of it.
Yes.
I play it off stream because I need a stress relief. I need to go out and explore, ship hunt, whatever I feel like doing that day. And I stream it because I love hanging out with the really, really cool community that this game provides.
Agreed.
Yeah, you're spot on.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love this game. It's my best game ever, hands down. Yeah, but I just feel that there's a little bit lacking. I kind of feel I've seen it after I've gone to the center. I feel I've seen everything the game has to.
I can see your point.
I'm right there
I
with
think
you.
it needs more variety.
Yes, it definitely needs more variety. It doesn't have enough. I'm right there with you. I 100% agree. To tell you the truth, I would rather them add variety before they add VR.
I don't know about that.
I do.
Yeah, definitely, because we're just going to be in VR seeing the same stuff that we've already seen. They really do need diversity.
Yes, they do.
Well, and two, and this is the beautiful thing about this game, is it's not handheld direction through a storyline into the game. It's open world, open sandbox, where, like, especially like hubs and communities build their own events, their own fun, their own projects. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, I'll probably be busy just base building, doing different things with Civs for the next 2 months on PC, just because of the PC.
Well, Hello Games has said they've watched the way we play, so I'm hoping that they've taken note of all those sort of things. I'm going to see that in the community hubs, see a lot of custom missions, etc.
Oh, I think they will. And I think that every single update that we're going to continue to get, they're constantly going to be tweaking and making adjustments and fine-tuning variation and, AI and some of the stuff that they already have in the game. I mean, when Foundations came out, I think number one, they called it that just because that we're implementing the base build, but also because that was the first update that they had, and everything was going to be built off of that moving forward. I think they're always going to be improving on the game.
So, I'd like to remind everybody, it's a team of 20 people. You have tons and tons and tons of coding and all this stuff that goes into this game. For an indie company to come this far with this game is astounding in itself. It's a statement. They are blowing AAA games out of the water right now.
Well said.
Yeah. Well, and I made the comment on a previous subcast that Hello Games has now set the premise on the way game development should be managed.
Yeah. It's not about the money. It's about the players. It's about the community. It's about the camaraderie. It's a beautifully well done game. If you look back to when it was first made to now, it has come leaps and bounds for an indie game.
Exactly.
True that.
Well, you got to think too. Look at any other AAA game. They don't make it 3 years.
No.
They end up being a sequel or become a dead, unsupported platform.
Correct.
No Man's Sky has evolved with the community and with the game industry for 3 years now, and that's what I kind of got to say to some of the people say it lacks variety or it lacks surprises or needs new content. I'm gonna tell you guys when it's a hand drawn built world map, it's easy to add variety, but with the procedural generation, eventually you're going to start seeing the same kinds of fauna, and you're going to eventually start seeing the same types of planets, especially if you played it every day for 3 years.
Yeah. You have an infinite universe. You're going to run into the same stuff eventually.
Well, you see, what breaks it for me is that when a new update comes out and I see something brand new, and I'm like, wow, that's so freaking cool, man. This is awesome. And then all of a sudden I go to Facebook or Twitter and I see like 20 different people posting the same dark creature that I just flipped out over. And the game needs more variation. And I think because the community is so passionate about the game, because we love it so much, it's like a kid who's collecting a toy set, right? I mean, because they produce such a wonderful game, and because it's a big open sandbox, we would be silly not to want more. Not because we don't think that the game is perfect just the way it is or complete, but because we've loved every bit of content that has been given. Of course, and I keep going back to what Ray Rod said a couple days ago, but last week I think it was, or a couple weeks ago. He said that the engine that runs No Man's Sky is only being ran at 2%.
God.
Yeah, which is mind blowing.
Yes,
I mean, that's just the thing.
It reminds us of us with our human brain.
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking.
And I asked him why. I said, because he's been in the code, he's been making these awesome mods that are increasing that percentage on his own. And I said, why would they do that? And he says his only response was, Cobra, I don't know. I don't know why they do the things they do.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't think most systems could handle it. I think that's why. If you did it for PC, you could not do it for PS4 because PS4 cannot keep up with PC. I'm sorry. It's just the truth.
There's a lot of PCs that can't keep up with No Man's Sky.
Yeah, and I mean, but we can crunch the numbers and say that, but we don't know until we know, right? I mean,
right.
Hello Games is only going to give the console players what the consoles can handle, and vice versa for PC and whatnot. But they're going to try to keep both aspects with Xbox and PS4 and PC all on the same playing level field. But, it hasn't been done until it's been done. The same thing was said about Minecraft when it was coming out on tablet. Oh, Minecraft can't come out on an iOS device, or it can't come out on Android or a tablet because it's just too big, it's just too complex, it can't do it. Bull crap. They did it.
Yeah.
And now we have it. So we don't know until we really know.
Yeah, and the potential is there.
And I kind of want to go back and iterate on something Steve said. And dude, love you to death, man. Enjoy your streams every single time you go live. We talked about the ring planets. Talking about there shouldn't be a ring planet in every system. No. I want to say that to say this. I remember the second my download hit, the day Next dropped. The first thing I did, I saved in my freighter, and as soon as I exited my freighter, there was a ring planet, beautiful ring planet in the system. My jaw dropped. I was in awe of this beautiful ring planet, and I'm gonna tell you guys, you see them from time to time, but then also there's times I warp into a system and see a ring planet that reminds me of that first 5 minutes of Next. The awe and wonder I was in when I seen that first ring planet.
Every system has one. Even if there's one planet, it would have a ring around it. And have you noticed that the VR now in the VR section videos that we saw, that one of the ringed planets actually had colors to the rings?
Oh, yeah, I did notice that, yeah. I want to address .com. He says, Cobra, could you please reintroduce your guests for us late arrivals? I will do that, but this is a call-in show, .com, so if you would like to join, anybody's allowed to join this conversation. All you got to do is just join our Discord link down below and go on over to the Atlas Room, and I'll pull you into the Subcast. But we have on the call, we've got from No Man's Sky Ventures, Land of Shadows, Steve, Lost Tabs. We have Lich Dragon on the call. The Almighty Sword. We got Vargul on chat, and we also have Viking Captain and Yaucha Omega. But yeah, this is a free place for people in the No Man's Sky community to have a voice, to get on, talk about whatever they want. The pros and cons of No Man's Sky, or just the hype of what to expect and beyond speculation. And sharing VR stuff and just wherever you want the conversation to go to. So it's an open format. So I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
What do you guys think about enhancing the weather on planet, like lightning striking the ground? And
I think that needs to be added.
Yeah, right now we only have one lightning flash as the storm starts and one as it ends.
Somebody mentioned in my chat the other day is a really great idea. Flying your ships in storms, like if there's a storm on the planet, flying your ship through it would cause damage to it in like the survival permadeath saves.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
That would be awesome.
Just cause 4 weather system comes to mind. I would like to see like twisters and thunderstorms and random weather events.
So, Cobra, we kind of got sidetracked a little bit. I really wanted to know what your thoughts were on that 65 days of static post.
Oh, the 65. Yeah, I don't know. So Vargul shared this with me on Twitter. It was a post from 65 Days of Static, like these weird clips of music that they've made. And he was asking me about my opinion if I thought it was another ARG starting. And I want it to be, but I don't think it is. I think it's just artwork for them. I don't know. Why don't you tell me where you're coming from on it?
Well, I mean, so when I saw it on Twitter, I posted it in Discord, and I said, thought this was kind of strange that Hello Games retweeted this. It's from 65 Days of Static. And, then somebody, I'm not sure if it was Chaos Control, but one of them tweeted back or posted back to me saying, what does the red text say? And I was like, oh, crap, I didn't even pay attention to that. So I went and took a screenshot of it and zoomed in. And some of the words kind of make kind of odd sentences, and some of it doesn't even make sense. But if you read into it, some of the context does relate to either No Man's Sky or Waking Titan, because it talks about future loops, and it talks about heat death and just some really weird and strange stuff that kind of fits into that whole scientific realm. So I was speculating on the possibility of it being an ARG, and actually I'm not sure if it was Killer Wolf or somebody else said that it kind of gave them a Waking Titan vibe, like they weren't really sure, but it kind of feels that way. And I don't know, we haven't gotten a third reveal yet. Maybe this is how they're going to implement it. I don't know. It might not be a full ARG. It might just be something kind of small and puzzling for us to figure out.
That would be interesting, although with the ARGs, I've never seen 65 Days of Static get directly involved.
Right.
So, I don't know. Like I said, I want it to be, but I'm just not sure if it is or not. The music clips actually sound like No Man's Sky music.
Yeah.
Of course it's going to, because it's by the same band who did the music, but it feels like it was written for No Man's Sky.
Right.
Maybe we're looking at new soundtracks.
MTGGNG also brings up brings up a good point, saying, "What's up with all the red and beyond?" So that's a good point too. I don't know. It's too vague.
Imagine the third feature being more music.
No Man's Sky, Mozart.
Well, and I know I always love being a part of the show, and I always like listening to everybody's idea. I mean, I think one of the main reasons why we get so excited about speculation is because we've kind of seen what Hello Games has done in the past for advertising, and let's be honest, nothing is done by chance when it comes to No Man's Sky. We've said this before, that there's reasons behind choices that Hello Games makes with this game all the time. So we need to look at every facet and find and kind of educationally guess what the relativity is behind it. The color that they used for their logo, the type of font they used. You look at the data mining files. You look at the hints and the clues that they give you in the interviews. The one lady that's part of the development team that did the interview, she said that there was so much content wrapped up in this update they have not shown us yet. She goes, it was just amazing. It's just amazing. So, I mean, I don't know. The sky's the limit. We could sit here and speculate for days. We might be spot on some things. We might be way off on. I don't know.
I think they're afraid to reveal anything at this point, simply due to the backlash they've gotten. ever since they revealed the game.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's why it's going to be exceptionally hard to cover this new game that they're working on. I guarantee you they're not going to mention it for at least another year.
Probably not.
So how long has it been since we've received the VR update, the VR notice?
See, that's the thing. We can't look at the times because based on when it was announced and when number 2 was announced, because he mentioned in an interview, he said, "I wish we hadn't even said anything closer to launch."
Yeah,
I don't think we're getting. We're not going to get. I don't think we're going to get number 3 until much later. I hope I'm wrong, but I just don't think we are.
They said it's this summer, so we're probably looking at June.
Yeah.
We got to realize too, if it's a July or August release, that they're releasing this update that far away. If they give us all the information now, what are we going to do for 3 or 4 months?
No, no, for real. Well, and he said, didn't Sean Murray say when that guy from the blog post from Sony, when he did that interview, Sean Murray said, "Look, we've learned a lot, based on the launch and some of the other updates that we've done. We felt like it's more important what we do than what we say." He goes, "We'll be revealing more information the closer we get to launch." So I don't know that we're just going to get a third reveal. I think they're going to be dropping hints and clues at things that are going to be in the game the closer we get to launch.
That'd be nice. I think I would like that. I would. I wish they would expand on some of the things while we're waiting. Like expand on online. Tell us a little bit more. They said they don't want to talk about things unless they're able to know for sure that they could do it. Well, I'm pretty sure that they know the things they could do with online. Otherwise, they wouldn't have mentioned the fact that there's going to be an online. So I wish they would expand on that just a little bit more.
Right.
We have Southern Card joining us. Southern Card, how you doing, bud?
Grab my mic off.
Southern Card?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. What's up, bud? How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Sounds like it sounds like we got some pillow talk.
Yeah. Well, I got my 5-month-old baby asleep in the next room. So
you don't want to wake up the baby. You probably just got to sleep.
Yeah, not too long ago.
What's on your mind, man?
Well, here's my thing, and I'm not trying to poo-poo on everybody's party. Am I the only one that kind of misses the old school No Man's Sky?
No, you're not the only one. I do.
I mean, it seems like every lush planet looks like Earth, and it's. I
know.
That's my biggest complaint right now.
Do you remember the way the planets used to look like? Beautiful purple, lush planets, I don't know, man. With pink skies.
Yeah.
It just used to look so much more vibrant.
I miss the green skies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looked more alien, didn't it? It looked. You wanted to explore.
I know.
And I think that's partially our fault. It's the community's fault that this has happened. I think.
Why?
I remember
because we always ask for more. Not all of us. I shouldn't lump everybody together. More like realistic and more, just I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to explain.
I see where you're coming from.
Right. You get what I'm saying.
I think that Hello Games has pandered to the negativity a lot more than the ones who are here and positive. I think that there's been. I don't think that's a wrong thing to do, but I think that that's something that has happened.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you this? And just I don't know. Tell me what your thought is on this. But as a developer, I mean, I would think that, and Sean Murray has stated this, that this game is kind of like his passion, right? It's his baby. I think that he wants to please the community. But I think at the same time, when he implements things into the game, he's going to do it his way, right? I mean, we asked for exocrafts, but he's not going to give us vehicles that we might be familiar with in other games, like I don't know, like Star Citizen or something like that, or whatnot. But he's going to do it the way he wanted to do it. He didn't just give us vehicles to drive. He made us work blueprints and upgrade the vehicles, and it's still that whole survival resource management type style gameplay. When he changed the planet, he still utilized his own creative palette in building the worlds that we currently have. And I don't think that he did it because necessarily just the community wanted it. I think as a developer, he wanted to implement those changes as well, right? He's not going to do something that's going to, I don't think, that would purposefully break or ruin the game. You know what I
He's
mean?
invested way too much into this game to do something stupid like that.
Right.
Yeah. So any kind of decisions that he's making very precision, point, careful decisions in how he's going to progress the game. Yeah. And we might see another palette change down the road. I think a lot of the changes that we've seen kind of tie into the lore with what's happened to the Atlas and what's happened with the Universal Reset and everything, and the worlds, the planets that we've come to know have changed since the infection of the Atlas, since we lost the Atlas.
Yeah, you can find
but
multicolored.
it also affects new players.
Ant-Mun saying that he is not sure where this lack of color stuff is coming from because he's seen a lot of colorful things. There is still color in No Man's Sky. They brought a little bit back when they released Visions and things like that. But if you go back and look at your old screenshots from a long time ago, before, like around Atlas Rises, your screenshots are going to look dramatically different than the ones you've taken in the last couple of days.
Do you think that the style, the art style, and color now is closer to what we've seen in E3 versus what the game was like at launch?
I don't.
I think people who would want to trade E3 trailers for what we have now shouldn't be employed by Hello Games. Because why would you trade that?
Hey, I know one thing they could do to stop this whole E3 conversation. Somebody petition PlayStation to get the freaking E3 trailer off the trailer for the game. I seen that not 2 weeks ago. It burns me to no end to see an E3 trailer for next.
Yeah.
Here's
I didn't mean to set anybody off or step on any toes, man. But I guess the reason why I relate to that because of the impact that it made, right? So, like, the first thing I noticed with that E3 trailer when he came out of that ship was lush orange grass and these big, bulky, massive trees and, herds of animals. And now if you look at the game, you have animals that kind of move in herds. And these lush planets are full of grass that are just vibrant, and that's kind of the perception that E3 trailer left me, and it almost makes me wonder if that was kind of the direction they were headed, and they ended up surpassing it. You know what I mean? Like, I think the game that we have now looks a hell of a lot better than the E3 trailer, but I'm almost wondering if that was their target, like. You know what I mean? They just surpassed it.
I agree.
I think I need to clarify something. When I say I prefer old school No Man's Sky over Next, I'm not saying Next is bad. I love Next.
No, but a lot of us, it's not about complaining about something that's missing and stuff like that. I just miss the color. From Atlas Rises and it went away. Like, where did it go? Bring it back!
My thing is, before Next, even all the way up to Atlas Rises, No Man's Sky still felt like a niche indie game. And it seems, to me, it feels like after Next we've moved more in a mainstream direction. And I didn't buy No Man's Sky because it was a mainstream game. Like, I'm perfectly fine being the only person on my friends list playing the game.
Right. Well, and I
get it from a business standpoint. You got to cater to your mass audience. I get that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the direction they're going.
I mean, they're still considered an indie development team, but I think the game, you're spot on. I think the game feels like a AAA title.
Oh,
now.
Absolutely.
Oh, at this point, it is. It is.
Yeah,
I mean, in the way I think the negativity actually helped it become a AAA. People talked about it. Everywhere. Remember back in the day, people that were releasing videos about Shangri-Las and all this really crazy stuff. And people would come by when you guys were streaming it, when I was streaming it, and they would come by in the chat and say, "Why are you supporting a lying developer? You're what's wrong with the gaming industry." I think that's what helped it actually become one of the most talked about games ever. And
publicity is good publicity.
Right. And so people witnessed how it improved over time. And then they're like, whoa, really? What?
Well, a lot of it is that when the game was announced, I mean, this was a lot of people's dream game. A lot of people's dream game. It was my dream game.
Yeah.
And it still is my dream game because there's still no other game like it.
Yeah, and I don't think there ever will be.
Yeah, a lot of people ask me, because I talk to guys that were people that haven't even this. I commercialized it to one of the security guards that are building. He's like, I like these building games. He was talking about Fallout, and he goes, but I didn't get burned out on Fallout. I said, dude, if you like building, you like survival, and you like resource management, I got a game for you. And he looked at it, and he's thinking about going and picking up No Man's Sky, but I'm a little with sword on this. This is my chill, relaxed game. I don't need to feel stressed out and pressured. If I want to just relax and chill and unwind, I'll play this for hours on end.
Stubborn Ninja, I just want to address Stubborn Ninja in chat. Stubborn, we're not speculating at the moment. We're all over the place. We're talking about all kinds of things. We're not just speculating. Okay, and this channel, I've stopped adding Let's Plays to the channel because I like talk radio. I want this to be a podcast channel. I want to interview developers, and I have, and people don't pay attention to the other developers I talk to, even though they're AAA developers and they're really good people.
Nobody cares about them.
Yeah, but I try, and so this is just a place for you can come on here and talk about whatever you want. I mean, I'm sure that there's a lot of people on here right now playing as they're talking.
If you can interview Todd Howard, I'd like to know what the hell he's thinking right now.
But okay, I want to key on to something Vargul just said. I was listening to. Well, I'm a big fan of the Hidden Panda show, and Panda made a comment on his stream that's just it wraps this up in a bow just so beautifully. He made a comment, back when we were kids and we used to cut out the windows in a cardboard box and it used to be our little pretend space shuttle. Before we had video games, when we had to make believe what we done as children, this is what No Man's Sky provides for us as adults.
Absolutely.
And it brings me back to that time of wonder and imagination that I missed as a child.
Especially in VR, because with VR you don't have to cut out holes in our boxes.
I cannot wait to put that freaking control stick in my hand.
Oh yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Our Future, and also Stubborn Ninja. Thank you so much for the super chat. We have another caller. We got .com on the call. I think. Did he go away? Oh, he went away. Let me get him back in here. We got .com on the call. .com, what's going on, buddy? .com.
Hello.
.com is here, but he just left. Let's see if we can get him back in here.
Technical difficulties.
So he's got some technical difficulties. Well, I'll keep trying. If you can't get it, I'll keep a lookout. I'll keep trying to add you back into the call.com. And when you get it all straightened around, if I'm talking, just ignore. I mean, ignore me and just speak over me. So yeah, a lot of conversation here. I mean. I'm sorry. What were you guys talking about before I interrupted you guys?
I think you're just talking about how we were, our imagination as kids and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, just out of curiosity, in the lore of No Man's Sky, what is the family of glass?
It's like an underworld, like a different dimension, isn't it? They mention it as a realm of foam and red, and the realm of glass.
Right.
It could be what they're hinting at Beyond, but to be honest, that red screen looks very Sentinel-like to me. You know, when we got the Abyss update, we got the Abyss storyline. I'm wondering whether we're going to get a Beyond storyline, as well as the other three things. And I'm hoping it's going to be Sentinel-driven.
In the Abyss lore, the glass refers to Sentinels.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's where Laylapse came from, isn't it?
I was wondering if Hello Games broke the wall. like we are the family behind the glass screen, right? Looking in.
Ooh. That's an interesting take.
.com, you there? We still don't have .com. I would check your mic settings, and if you could hear me, good. But I would check your mic settings and make sure you got the right mic associated with Discord. Okay, so
fourth wall.
We're probably winding down to the end of the show here. Is there anything that we left on the table that we'd like to discuss? I mean, we've been all over the place.
I'd just like to say that you triggered my PTSD earlier.
Uh-oh.
I went back to my my first screenshot of No Man's Sky, and it was of my ship being stuck in a tree. So thank you.
That's happened to all of us, I think.
Once or twice.
Sorry about that.
Now you just get stuck on freaking telephone poles and save points.
So I got to put my shades on to look at pre-next pictures. So much pastel.
Something that I would like to mention before ending off is we've got 255 dimensions. They're all very similar. I would like to see maybe that count reduced to maybe 16. That might get some flack, but I would like each dimension to have a different algorithm, almost like a Rayrod mod in one, and then maybe the vanilla No Man's Sky in another, but we're still with the base and the colors.
I was talking to a guy about that the other day. It would be great if they could somehow reduce the galaxy count, and at the center, you know how you go to a different, spoiler alert, go to a different galaxy or whatever. If they could reduce that number down, like you said, to 16, 20, whatever, and each galaxy be, you know, Pathfinder No Man's Sky, Foundation No Man's Sky, with all the features of Next, but with those different generations, different colors, different palettes, things like that, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, place for everyone. No more whining, no more moaning. Just go to a different dimension.
But then, too, we also got to remember that GDC conference when Ennis talked about how difficult it was to add content to a procedurally generated game, because when you put something in here, it causes multiple problems later on down the road in other places.
Right, right.
Yeah, but that didn't happen with Abyss or Visions.
I believe that's solely because of Next. I believe Next was the update to end the resets to where they can add content to it.
Right.
And we don't know what all kind of problems they had during development either of Abyss and Visions.
I'm sure with all the technical mumbo jumbo.
Abyss could have broke the game, and we just never knew about it.
Thank you so much for the donation, Stuart Ellis, saying, I hope we don't all go quiet after Beyond drops. Cobra has been here for us these last few years. We should be there for him in the downtimes too. Maybe Beyond will help with that. Oh, thank you so much, Stuart Ellis. Thank you, buddy.
Heck yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's very difficult. We do cover a multitude of things here on the channel, but our main focus is No Man's Sky. So after an update, that usually happens. Like the attention, the excitement, it usually goes away, and that's normal because we're all playing the game right. So it's a little difficult, especially for a YouTuber when you start noticing So here's my biggest worry, and I'll be honest with you guys, especially after the update's been out for about 2 months, I go to do a subcast, and my fear is no one's going to call into the show. right? And then I'm going to sit here. I'm like, oh, wait, I got to figure out what to talk about for the next 2 hours, and I don't have anybody to come on and share their own ideas and their own opinions. Oh, great. This is going to be a 30-minute show.
It could be worse. You could have me on the show.
Oh, I would love to have you on the show.
Speculate over a blade of grass for
time.
3 hours, but that may upset Stubborn Ninja.
Oh,
But see, that's how we know that the content that was released is prime, because it's just like dinner, man. Once you're fed, everyone shuts up.
And we're all hungry.
that's a good example. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Hey, I want to say one more thing before I log off for the night.
Sure.
Cobra, thank you very much for giving all of us a voice, and I love your subcasts, and it's nice talking.
Thank you so much, buddy. I do appreciate that. From the bottom of my heart, I do. Thank you.
Take care. Good night, everybody.
All right, Kane. Good night, buddy.
Yacha's the GOAT.
How much do you guys think the scale of the game is going to change since they did a deal call for VR?
Big time.
The scale? I think the scale's good. I think it's going to, but it used to be bad, but now it's good. And I think with the VR, I think we're going to get like a first-person view of that finally, and I think it's going to look like it's improved. You know what I mean?
So do you think the scale? Do you think the scale's really going to feel different in VR? Or do you think that they did another overhaul to the scale?
It definitely. The scale of a game always feels different in VR versus controller versus screen. You're never gonna get the same reaction.
100% right. He's right. So yeah, they don't have to mess with the scale. Just having the VR and being in front of a big rock that's like twice the size of you, when you look up, when you have to turn your head up, like lift it up to just to look at the top of it, it's
you're
going
gonna feel
to
like
sing.
you're there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know Panda was talking about the other day. He was on stream and actually was standing behind standing beside his Nomad. And if you look, like the character model compared to the Nomad, there's no way you're fitting in that Nomad.
Yes,
I think they're going to have to increase the sizes of the exocrafts and maybe the scale of the ships. When it goes
you're
VR.
right, Sword. You are 100% right. And that's something we talked about like a very long time ago, but we haven't talked about that for a long, long time. And so kudos to Panda for bringing that up.
Heck,
yeah, most definitely. This game has been optimized. So even people who are playing on Xbox that don't have VR, or some people that are just not going to get it, there's going to be changes to the game that you're definitely going to benefit from.
Exactly.
That's the thing I'm looking forward to the most, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't have a VR headset, but I know on my slim PS4 the game still it just chugs.
I imagine physically moving your hand to look up and actually moving your head to look up are two completely different feelings.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna put this. Sorry.
Even outside of VR, we're still going to get I wouldn't think they would not do this. Cockpit views in the exocraft, even if it's not VR, just like a ship.
Yes.
I
want to put this thought into everybody's head real quick.
Go ahead.
What if your character is not physically there, but he's just data information? He downloads himself to the ship.
That's kind of right. That's absolutely. You almost nailed what No Man's Sky is.
Exactly.
Platitude Platypus, thank you so much for the donation to the super chat, buddy. Thank you, bud. Okay, we got Kyle Cover just showing up. Says I am most looking forward to the the optimization to No Man's Sky, because think about it, man. They have to have this game running at 60 frames per second per eye for it to be certified for Sony for VR.
I was about to say, is that a Sony mandated thing, or is that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a Sony mandated thing.
Mandated VR.
Right.
Gotcha.
So this game's been optimized.
It also sounded like they did a call on the menu system for easier maneuverability through the menus.
We'll see how that looks when the VR pops, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a stressful game. I mean, I got the 2060 graphics card in my rig, and I looked at my task manager the other day while I was playing, and I'm running almost 90% on my graphics card.
It's super intense.
Yeah.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, that's max settings, but still, it's hard to look at a $250, $300 PS4 and see the same, see the same performance through that console.
Right.
You know what the worst part about that is? You're only in X by X pixels of the game. You're not even registering the rest of the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, that's going to probably do it for tonight's show. I want to thank you guys that called into the show. Thank you.
Thank you, Cobra.
Thank you for having us, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jam.
Don't forget, everybody in the chat, to subscribe to the people that are in the chat. So, No Man's Sky Adventures, make yourself known in the chat. Say, hey, it's me. I upload. Check me out. Sword as well. I'm sure everybody here that's in the chat's already subscribed to Sword. Everyone knows Sword, but if you don't, doing yourself a disservice. Go check the guy out.
Oh, man. Thank you, dude.
Yeah. And anybody else that's in this chat that uploads content, make yourself known in that chat. Everybody, we're Constellation. Reach out. Connect those dots. Every one of you are a star. Every single one of you. So reach out. And if I haven't subscribed to you, I need to. So why don't you send me a message on Facebook or on Twitter saying subscribe to my channel. Make yourself known to me so I can go and subscribe to your channel because I want to. So add me on Twitter, XXXCobra. And if you're friends with me on Facebook, just message me saying, hey, you never subscribed to my channel. I will gladly reach out and subscribe and be there for you to support you guys. So remember, Constellation, guys. We are Constellation. Subscribe to each other. Connect those dots. Follow each other on Twitter. Whatever you got to do. That's it for tonight's show. Thank you, guys. Have a good night,
Thank you
everybody.
for everything, Cobra.
Thank you, buddy.
Good night, Cobra.
Peace out, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, chum. Bye, chum.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, chum. Yes. Bye-bye, indeed. Good night. It's now nearly 5. Well, it's 5 a.m. in the UK.
Oh, wow.
Time
Yeah.
for breakfast.
Yeah, time for breakfast. Yeah, the sun's going to be up in the birds in a moment. I'm not going to get to sleep.
Save me some tea.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Night, everyone.
Good night, all.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight's show. Everybody have a good night. Stay safe, fly safe, explore safe. Come back. I love you guys. See everybody in the next video or the next live stream, or I'll see you on Twitter. I'll see you on Facebook. Until next time, everybody.